Nighting was really shocked when she discovered it was a little girl that was shooting.
I can't even imagine the thought they had when they found out that the school shooter was a 12-year-old girl. Bro, at that point, you just know America is cooked. What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be looking at school shooters who mess with the wrong person. Look, it's one thing if the cops get you, but if it's someone in the school premise that gets you, like the coach or something, that's crazy. But I'm glad they stopped you. Without further ado, let's get started.
A gunman on a college campus in Seattle. One person killed, 2 wounded, and the hero student tackling the shooter as he was reloading.
Every school needs somebody like that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I would ever be the one that volunteers to run into a bullet, but you're a legend.
June 5th, 2014 is the day shooter Aaron Ibarra was humbled when John Mice tackled him. Despite having a gun and a knife, the shooter soon discovered he'd messed with the wrong person. These are school shooters messing with the wrong people.
That's just an ironic statement in itself. You would think that they would have no threat. But hey, man, some students, they superheroes.
One of the students who helped end the Colorado school shooting is calling the attackers cowards and praising a friend who died confronting one of them.
Damn.
Students like Brendan Biley already had the shooters pinned to the ground.
May 7, 2019, 2 shooters stormed STEM school Highlands Ranch in Colorado with the intention to massacre, but they didn't expect anybody would stand up to them and foul their plan. Devin Erickson and Alec McKinney came prepared for this mass destruction. Erickson was armed with a Glock 19 9mm semi-automatic pistol.
Automatic? Hold up. They probably squeeze like maybe 30 rounds a minute. I don't know. But if the door is right there and the shooter is right there, I'm sorry, gang. I'm too scared.
Weapon capable of holding up to 15 rounds in its mag. This handgun, easily concealable yet incredibly deadly at close range, must have been chosen because of these advantages. McKinney, on the other hand, carried a Winchester 12-gauge pump-action shotgun.
Where are you getting shotguns as a kid? This is not like Fortnite. I don't think this just spawns around in the house and you could just grab a chest. Who is giving these kids shotguns?
Formidable firearm that could deliver devastating damage with each pull of the trigger. Together they brought all kinds of ammunition, ensuring they devastating damage with each pull of the trigger. Together they brought all kinds of ammunition, ensuring they had more than enough firepower to inflict max casualties. Their intent was crystal clear. They sought to wreak havoc and leave behind a scene of carnage.
How do you get someone else to co-sign doing something as atrocious as a school shooting? I'm sorry, if my man's ever told me, yo bro, Sala, you're trying to empty this school up? I'm giving bro the meanest backhand you've ever seen. You're going to jail by yourself, buddy. I'm calling the cops on you.
The day would progress. No one really could have anticipated the horror that was about to unfold. Erickson and McKinney, their faces painted with eerie makeup, stalked the hallways, brandishing their weapons. The first shots rang out, shattering the calm. Startled by the gunfire, students and staff scramble for cover. As Erickson and McKinney moved through the school, they fired indiscriminately, their bullets tearing through flesh and ricocheting off walls. What they didn't expect was any—
Bro, why do they make bullets just chop through walls like that? Because I feel like the school drills, all they do is tell us to get under the table. With a shotgun that big with the bullets going through 3 walls, I'm sorry, even the table not gonna save us at this point. We just gotta make a run for it.
Anybody standing in their way. They were wrong, as 3 students step up and show that they're not gonna allow anyone to terrorize their school on their watch. 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo, without a moment's hesitation, sprang into action, choosing to confront the shooter head on. In a valiant attempt to save his classmates, Castillo lunged at Erickson, trying to disarm him. Sadly, he was met with a fatal gunshot to the chest.
Oh my, yo, RIP to that kid. I'm not gonna lie, freaking hero, bro. I feel like at the end of the day, now people are gonna remember him for being a legend.
But his action had created an opportunity to foil this deadly attack and at least slow the attacker down. Seeing what Castillo did, a chain reaction of heroic acts began to set off. 2 students, Brendan Bialy and Joshua Jones, were motivated to step in. Bialy isn't the kind of guy you want to be in a fight with. He's incredibly fit, with the heart of a warrior.
He probably got the meanest like army scholarship or police scholarship after this, bro. Y'all better give my boy nothing less than 7 figures. He better be rich off of this.
According to him, he'd always been prepared for situations like this and dreamt of joining the U.S. Marines after graduation.
There's people that dream of joining the army. Yo, he got it. You already know damn well he about to be some sort of general or something like that. What you mean you prepared for a school shooting?
What I thought I'd be able to do in a situation like that was the reality of what I did.
The brave teen helped subdue one of the 2 suspects in Tuesday's shooting at STEM school Highlands Ranch.
Displaying incredible physical prowess and determination, Bialy tackled Erickson, ignoring the fact that Erickson still had a loaded gun in his hand. On Bialy's side was Jones, who with unwavering resolve joined the struggle, helping attempting to subdue Erickson. In this scuffle, Erickson opened fire and managed to hit Jones twice. A shot went through the hip and the other in the leg. But this didn't deter these heroes. They kept up with the fight until they disarmed the shooter and subdued him. Interesting.
The fact that they had to stop the person with the shotgun and the person with the pistol, bro, I know they were probably shitting bricks. They're like, what? We only got 2 people out? Your KD ratio is cooked.
Interestingly, Jones was so focused on this mission that he didn't even know he'd been shot twice.
Jones said that he did not realize he had been shot until the gunman was on the ground.
Fortunately, police arrive on time and were shocked when they saw that Bialy and Jones had already apprehended one of the shooters. The attack left 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo dead, his life cut short by a senseless act of violence. 8 other students suffered injuries, some life-threatening, forever bearing the physical and emotional scars of that fateful day. Brendan Bialy's actions were hailed as heroic by many, including the U.S. Marine Corps, who recognized his courage and commitment to protecting his classmates. Yet Bialy remained humbled, insisting that Kendrick Castillo's name should be remembered above all.
The fact that we live in a society where kids have to be heroes when they should just be studying. I'm sorry, there's no reason why a 16-year-old kid should be trying to choke slam a kid with a gun. I'm just trying to get my education and go home, gang. Yo, RIP though.
Meese, a 22-year-old senior at the time, dashes out in bare feet and pepper sprays him right
You see, this is why we need super seniors. What you mean a 22-year-old senior? Unless this is a college.
in the face, wrestling the gun from Ibarra's hand.
June 5th, 2014, one of the most extraordinary acts of courage was caught on camera when John Mace tackled a school shooter in the most remarkable way. Despite having a gun and a knife, the shooter was simply no match for Mace. It was a seemingly ordinary Thursday afternoon at Seattle Pacific University. Students were bustling between classes. The campus was alive with the usual hum of academic life. But for 27-year-old Aaron Ibarra, this day was anything but ordinary.
You know what? I can see why he's mad at the world, bro. If my face was looking like that, I think I'd be mad too. Why are you built like an extraterrestrial creature? This gotta be the weakest chin I've ever seen since the Dream Face reveal. And why is your head slanted on a slope? This has gotta be the craziest head build I've ever seen.
Ibarra had a history of mental health issues and a disturbing fascination with the Columbine shootings, leading to a meticulously planned attack.
Who says I'm bored? Yeah, let me go watch the Columbine shooting. Like, is that the only form of entertainment y'all have?
Days leading up to June 5th, 2014, Ibarra visited the SPU campus, posing as a prospective student. He convinced two female students to give him a private tour of Otto Miller Hall, where he scoped out potential escape routes and areas of vulnerability. On the day of the attack, Ibarra drove his white pickup truck to the campus, armed with a Browning over-under shotgun, a large fixed-blade hunting knife, and additional ammunition. At approximately 3 p.m., Ibarra parked his truck and approached Paul Lee, a 19-year-old freshman outside Otto Miller Hall. Without
freshman year? You're telling me bro just went into college and this the first thing he's seeing? Y'all couldn't even wait for my mans to get education?
Without warning, Ibarra shot Lee in the back of the head at close range, killing him instantly. The shotgun pellets also struck Thomas Fowler, who was standing nearby. Ibarra would then attempt to shoot a female student, but his gun misfired, giving her a chance to escape. He then entered Otto Miller Hall, where he encountered Tristan Cooper Roth. He told Tristan that he had just shot a man outside for disrespecting him and warned him not to move. Moments later, Ibarra saw Sarah Williams descending the stairs. He fired at her, hitting her in the upper torso. As Cooper Roth tried to flee, Ibarra's gun misfired again. As Aaron attempted to reload his shotgun,
W misfires, bro. That gotta be one of the greatest things to happen.
John Mace, a student building monitor, saw his opportunity. Armed with only a can of pepper spray, Mace courageously approaches Ibarra and sprays him in the face. All disoriented, Aaron was tackled to the ground by Mace, who then wrestled the shotgun away from him. He reached for his hunting knife, but Mace kicked it out of his hand and held him down until help arrived. 911 dispatchers began receiving frantic calls about the shooting, and within minutes, Seattle Police Department officers arrive on scene and secure the area. Paul Lee was pronounced dead on arrival at Harborview Medical Center.
Yo, R.I.P., bro. R.I.P.
Sarah Williams was in critical condition and underwent emergency surgery. Thomas Fowler was treated for serious injuries and kept overnight for observation. Now, John Mace may have been recognized and given many awards as a hero, but he
if I see a shotgun, my last choice of weapons would be a pepper spray.
Remains humble about what he did that day to save many more lives. He believes the media should focus on the victims and not his heroic act.
You know a hero is a hero when he don't even want no praise for it, man. W man right there.
First thing I see is him open his jacket and him pull a big gun out of it. all the kids just start screaming.
On May 17th, 2019, high school student Angel Granados Diaz walked into his school with a loaded shotgun with determination to carry out his mission. What was to end in tragedy became an inspirational story thanks to the quick action of Coach Keenan Lowe in that intense moment.
Y'all better pay him, give him 6 figures, make him the new principal, name the school after him. You know how impactful you have to be as a teacher for a kid to put the gun down from doing some heinous act like that? You know damn well 90% of teachers be like assholes nowadays, so if anything, you go enrage the shooter.
Incident unfolds at Park Rose High School in Portland, Oregon, where Keenan Lowe was the football coach. He was a former star wide receiver for the University of Oregon Ducks, who had always been a pillar of strength and guidance for his students. Now, his presence at the school was a source of comfort and security. However, on this fateful day, his skills would be put to the ultimate test. About noon of that day, 18-year-old Angel Granados Diaz was walking through the hallways with a loaded shotgun hidden under his jacket. You see, Angel was going through mental health crises, and his intentions, though not entirely clear, were undoubtedly dangerous. He entered into a classroom, opened his trench coat to reveal the gun. From that moment, everything happened so quick. The students immediately ran out of that class as fast as they could through another door. Coach,
as they should. What? I'm Usain sprinting towards the exit. I am not waiting for somebody to empty the bullets.
Lowe was standing close to the doorway, just a few feet away from Angel. Without thinking too much about his safety, Lowe jumped at Angel and grabbed the gun with both hands. Now it's a fight between coach and student. Both of them held the gun with both hands. Coach Lowe was making sure that the gun didn't go off facing the fleeing students or himself. He used his strength and determination.
Oh, so he didn't even talk him out of it. So the kid didn't even have a chance even if he wanted to. Yo, amazing coach.
To overpower the student, eventually managing to wrestle the gun away. Coach Lowe was able to hand the shotgun over to another teacher as he pulled Angel out of the class into the hallway. All this while, Coach Lowe was holding the student in a tight hug, trying to calm him. At this moment, something really amazing happened. Instead of reacting with anger or fear, Lowe chose compassion. He embraced the distraught student, holding him.
Yo, amazing teacher, because I'm not gonna lie, bruh. My ass would have had you on a Randy Orton chokeslam. Bah! I'm putting your ass down. You are finished. You lucky you ain't take any shots from the shotgun, because I feel like this would have been a completely different story.
Tightly. And this act of empathy was captured on security footage, showing Lowe comforting this student, who was clearly in a state of emotional turmoil. Who could have expected this situation would turn out to be positively emotional? Angel had told the coach that he didn't mean to hurt anyone. He'd come to class that day only to end his own life. This young man had bottled up a lot of pain and was
Were you though? Why did you have to go inside the classroom then?
Severely depressed. It was later discovered that the shotgun had only one round in it, and Angel had inscribed 05/17/2019 on the casing, which was the date of this incident, showing it was actually carefully planned. They also discovered a suicide note in his jacket, so it seemed Angel was sincere. Lowe's
Okay. Why'd you have to do it in front of the class though? You want everyone to be traumatized about your passing? I'm glad you did it, but
actions not only prevented a potential tragedy, but also highlighted the power of understanding and human connection in moments of crisis. His bravery and quick thinking turned a potentially deadly encounter into a moment of profound humanity. Granados Diaz, who was suffering from a mental health crisis, later pled guilty to the charges relating to carrying a loaded firearm in a public place. He was given 3 years of probation and was going to get all the help he needed to recover. Lowe's actions were widely praised, and he was hailed as a hero. He's received awards and recognition for this bravery, including the Congressional Medal of Honor.
you know how sad it is that people even have to get to the thought of, hey man, I'm trying to leave this world permanently. I'm scared of guns. I'm scared of doing anything that harms me. But let me tell you right now, bro, that is never the way out. You gotta also realize when other people feel down. So amazing coach right here.
Honor Citizen Honor Award.
And I interrupted his plans the moment I stepped in. If it had been 5 minutes later, he would have stepped out and shot people in the hallway.
January 20th, 2017, Logan Cole stepped into the restroom of West Liberty Salem High School in Ohio to check his hair, not knowing there was a student in there with a loaded gun preparing to unleash terror on the school. And what happens next isn't what anyone could have imagined. Eli Serna, a 17-year-old student, walked into the school with a shotgun concealed in his bag. All he needed was a place and opportunity to get the gun out without anyone seeing him. Later that morning, he chose the boys' bathroom as his staging area, hoping
that gotta be like the worst time for a pee break, bro. I'd be heated if I wanted to take a dookie and I'm hearing someone going, you will see my legs fling up in the air like this, like no other. I am not confronting nobody.
No one would walk in as he prepared for his attack. Eli had been struggling with severe depression and feelings of isolation, but despite his quiet demeanor, he harbored a storm of emotions that had led him to this point to carry out a tragic act of violence. At approximately 7:30 a.m., Eli entered the school's bathroom and he was just bringing the shotgun out of his bag when Logan Cole, a 16-year-old student known for his friendly nature, walked in. He couldn't believe his eyes, seeing a student with a shotgun and a ski mask on. Logan immediately realized that Eli was about to step out and start a shooting spree. For a second, the two teens stared at each other. Then, without warning, Eli raised his shotgun and fired twice, hitting Logan in the chest and back.
A bunch of air just like shoved me toward the side, and I don't have any memory of getting shot a second time, but obviously it happened.
Logan fell to the floor bleeding and in immense pain. However, he showed courage despite having over 200 shotgun pellets in his body from those shots and a broken tooth after he hit the floor. While other people might have been writhing in pain and begging for their lives, Logan was not begging for his. He looked Eli in the eyes and told him not to proceed with this massacre. Though Logan's injuries made him too weak to fight the shooter physically, he was able to wrestle him emotionally, and surprisingly it worked.
Yo, who is this man, Naruto? Anime works, all right? That talk no jutsu, it really be working, bro. What did he say to touch him that much? I mean, granted, bro, yo, I could have listened to me before you had 200 shotgun pellets in my shit. Like, you couldn't at least give me the benefit?
It turned out to be Logan was saying, hey, you know, just put the gun down. You haven't killed anybody. You don't need to hurt anybody else.
The shooter apologized and slid the gun under the stall.
Meanwhile,
no, it's too late, bro. Yo, ain't going to jail.
Outside the bathroom, teachers and students heard that gunfire that echoed throughout the hallways. That immediately sent students and staff into a panic, as many would rush to escape from the scene. And interestingly, not everyone was running away for dear life. Two courageous men started running in the direction of the gunshots. They were determined to protect their students and stop the shooter, even if it meant putting themselves in danger. And these men were Principal Greg Johnson and Assistant Principal Andy McGill. They found Eli in the bathroom, still armed and dangerous, and with remarkable bravery, they managed to subdue him and secure the weapon, preventing any further harm. By the time the cops arrived, they met Eli, already bonded up, and Principal Greg holding him down. Eli Serna was arrested and later sentenced to 23.5 years in prison for attempted murder, felonious assault.
You are lucky your ass decided to stop there, or else your ass would have been serving life. You know how crazy it is for a school shooter to be serving years? Like, they ain't even charge you with mental illness, so you did that just to do that.
And inducing panic. During his trial, it was shown that Eli had been suffering from major depression, a factor contributing to his actions but did not excuse him. Logan was quickly transported to the hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery.
How sad do you gotta be to want to end other people's lives? Like, I get if you're mentally ill, but if you're just depressed, dog, I've been depressed too. When I'm depressed, I want to talk to people. I don't want to end them.
His survival was nothing short of a miracle, and he still lives with about 100 bullet pellets in his back and chest.
Ooh. He still got the pellets in the back of his chest? Y'all got my man's looking like a porcupine? Damn!
Seaman threw a basketball at him as a
Seaman? You couldn't have come up with a better last name?
Then ran toward the bullets, knocking the gun from his hands and tackling the shooter to the ground.
May 25th, 2018. A school shooter storms into a class at Noblesville West Middle School in Indiana. Former football player and now teacher Jason Seaman would teach him a lesson he would never forget. 9:06 a.m.
Yeah, show him some of that semen. Wait, that don't sound right.
Yeah, the school day's in full swing. In Jason's classroom, students were focused on a science test. Among them was Ella Whistler, a bright and cheerful student, unaware of the impending danger. Meanwhile, the gunman, a 13-year-old boy, known to his classmates as friendly and funny, had a dark plan.
I would never assume anybody with this type of build had the intention of trying to end a school. Buddy, you look like the nerd emoji. Why are you mad at the world?
The day before, he had filmed a chilling video in his basement, revealing 2 handguns and ominously stating that he would take other people's lives before taking his own. He also warned 3 classmates via text messages not to come to school the next day. The boy's mother would later—
So do all school shooters do this? Hey, yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I remember you let me cheat off of you. You were the only one that talked to me. Do not come to school tomorrow. So y'all didn't even warn the rest of the school to like, not come? Because I know he probably told you about his plans.
Later testified that the morning seemed normal. He got ready for school, talked about an upcoming band concert, but hidden in his backpack were a .22 caliber handgun handgun, a .45 caliber handgun, and a knife. As sad as it is, this school didn't have a metal detector, so it was easy for him to get the guns inside.
Do y'all schools have metal detectors? We don't. As a parent, why are you letting your child around loaded guns?
During the second period, the boy asks to be excused from the classroom. He gets his backpack from his locker and heads towards the bathroom, where he prepares for his horrific act. Returning back to the classroom, he concealed his weapons under his hooded sweatshirt. As he re-entered the room, he pulls out the .22 caliber handgun and starts firing. The first shots hit Jason Seaman, who was helping Ella with a question about the quiz. But despite the chaos and pain, Seaman's instincts kick in. He grabs a small baseball bat and throws it at the shooter, momentarily distracting him. Now, Jason wasn't just any teacher. He's a formidable presence both in and out of the classroom. His physical fitness was evident to anyone who saw him. He has a
Yeah, you gonna need at least 30 bullets to stop this man.
background in 3 different sports: football, basketball, and track. And as a defensive lineman at Southern Illinois University, he was known for his speed, strength, and agility. His time on the field saw him accumulate 88 career tackles, helping his team to 2 conference titles.
Yo, you sure you in the right field, bro? The NFL probably needed you. Granted, you saved their lives, but you need to hit up the Rams.
And 3 playoff appearances. The students saw him not just as a teacher, but as a protector, someone who could just stand up to danger and keep him safe. Let's go back. The shooter shot Jason 3 times, and they all hit their target. But this didn't stop him. Ignoring those injuries, he charged at him and tackled him to the ground. His actions prevented further bloodshed. Meanwhile, he was yelling at the students to get out of the room. Fortunately, the police came quick, and the shooter was arrested without further incident. Jason Seaman and Ella Whistler were both rushed to the hospital. Jason, despite being shot 3 times, was hailed as a hero for his bravery, but he doesn't like being referred to as a hero. He believes that he just did whatever he had to do, and it wasn't an act of heroism. Ella, though critically injured, survived and began her long road to recovery.
Amazing.
According to reports, got up on a table to shoot at...
Okay, one thing this video is also making me realize, why is there like multiple instances of school shootings that just never went successful? Granted, amazing. I'm glad it wasn't successful, but yo, how much attempts are there to empty schools? I thought it was only a couple. It's seeming like a couple hundred.
Students, when he tried to switch guns, that's when students tackled him and forced him to stop.
May 21st, 1998, Jacob Riker, a 17-year-old at Thurston High School, Oregon, didn't know that he'd have to play the hero that day. But when this other student started shooting, he was determined to stop him by all means. A 15-year-old freshman at Thurston High School had been showing evidence of being disturbed psychologically, and his parents had noticed it. They sought professional help for his increasingly erratic behavior.
You're 15. You're 15, bro. I'm sorry, what life event have you went at 15 for your ass to turn out like this? Bro, just try to enjoy things.
But nothing could prepare him for what was about to unfold. May 20th, 1998, Kip's turmoil reached its breaking point. In a fit of rage and confusion, he shot his father in the back of the head as he sat at the kitchen table. Later, when his mother returned home, he met her in the garage and shot her multiple times. But this was...
Do you just hate everybody in your life? Like, what was you mad about at the age of 15? Losing in Fortnite? Did somebody spawn camp you? Like, you better have a crazy backstory.
Was only the beginning of the evil he'd commit. May 21st, the next morning, after executing his parents, Kiplin drove his mother's car to Thurston High School, carrying with him a semi-automatic rifle.
I can't even drive yet. I am 22 years old. Okay, that says a lot about me, but yo, what?
2 handguns, and a knife, all hidden under this trench coat he wore. He would have 1,000 rounds of ammunition with him, proving he's ready to unleash maximum carnage. And as he walked through these schools' doors, he was met with resistance. This was because Kiplin Kinkle was suspended from Thurston High School the previous day after being found in possession of a loaded stolen handgun on school grounds. A friend had stolen the pistol from another friend's father and sold it to Kinkle the night before. This would lead to his suspension pending an expulsion hearing. So it was a surprise when students saw him walking into school that morning. Right there, Kiplin started shooting and then made his way to the school's cafeteria. About 300 students filled this place, chatting and laughing. Suddenly, the air was shattered by the deafening sound of gunfire. Kinkle had entered the room, his eyes cold and determined, as he began to unleash a barrage of bullets. Panic erupts immediately and students are screaming, scrambling for cover. Amidst this pandemonium, Jacob Riker was focused on the shooter, waiting for the right time to pounce. That opportunity came when Kiplin reloaded his rifle. It was at this point that he estimated he had shot about 35 students and fired over 50 shots. Time seemed slow as Jacob assessed the situation. He knew that if Kip was allowed to continue, more friends would die. With a surge of adrenaline, Jacob pushed himself up from the floor and charged at Kip, closing the distance between them in a heartbeat. night, Jacob wrestled the rifle out of his hands,
Amazing.
but didn't know he had 2 pistols tucked in his belt. As they tussled to the ground, Kipling pulled out one of the pistols and fired a shot into Jacob's chest. But Jacob's bravery proved infectious, with 6 students jumping on Kipling and succeed in subduing him. They managed to pin him to the ground until the police arrived. The immediate threat was over, but the tension still lingered in the air. Jacob Reicher's actions that day were nothing short of heroic. This kid was unbelievable. He had the presence of mind and the courage to confront this shooter, preventing further loss of life. His bravery in the face of unimaginable danger turned him into a symbol of hope and resilience for his community. Mr. Kinkle was—
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie. This video is really making me realize, yo, I'm scared of a lot of things. This is what people mean by man up, by the way. I'm just too scared. I don't think I could ever.
Sentenced to 111 years in prison without the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to 4 counts of murder and 26 counts of attempted murder.
So there was 300 people in the cafeteria and you only got 2 of them? I'm glad you didn't get many people, but yo, you might be Helen Keller. I'm glad they tackled you quickly.
Sentence was upheld on appeal. Despite numerous legal challenges over the years, Kinkle was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and began taking antipsychotic medication after his arrest. The lives of 2 students, Ben Walker and Mikhail Nikolausen, were tragically cut short during the Thurston High School shooting. In the aftermath of this tragedy, the community of Springfield, Oregon, came together to honor the victims and support the survivors. A permanent memorial was established outside Thurston High School to remember those lost and to provide a place for reflection and healing.
But really, the big hero of the day today is a teacher who was able to disarm the girl who had the gun.
We have girls trying to commit school shootings? I thought that wasn't just the dude thing. Okay, both sexes is crazy. Hey, we need somebody to be good.
And hold her down until police got there.
May 6th, 2021. Students and staff at Rigby Middle School in Idaho ran.
You're in middle school. You're not even a freshman in high school. Did you trip while you were jump roping? Did TikTok ban your account? What are you mad for as a middle schooler?
For their lives as another student unleashed mayhem. But one teacher approached this shooter and showed that sometimes having a big heart is more important than having a big gun. That morning began like any other, with students bustling through their hallways, teachers preparing for their classes, and the usual gossip and laughter filling life in the air. But beneath the appearance of a normal day, an unimaginable danger was brewing. 8:55 a.m., a 12-year-old girl dressed in black and wearing a surgical mask wanders the hallways. She'd been seen earlier in the counselor's office, where she had seemingly an ordinary interaction with staff, but now she was headed towards the southeast bathrooms, her backpack concealing a semi-automatic pistol. This was about the time the first period was beginning. Krista Knighting, a dedicated math teacher known for her calm demeanor and compassionate nature, was just preparing her lesson, unaware of what was going on with this little girl. It was 9:05 a.m. when the first gunshot rang out. At first, it was mistaken for a loud noise from construction work or a prank, but as the second and third shots echoed throughout the halls, the reality of the situation began to sink in. Panic spread like wildfire. Everybody was scrambling for cover, unsure of where the shots were coming from or who was responsible. Jim Wilson, the school's custodian, was the first to be shot. He was cleaning a specific area when he heard a loud bang.
I thought the 12-year-old wasn't gonna shoot at anybody. A 12-year-old girl having a gun is insane. How do you even know what guns are? Bro, having a gun didn't even cross my mind until I was like, I still don't want a gun.
Initially, he didn't realize it was a gunshot until he saw the shooter raise her arm and felt a bullet hit his leg. Despite the injury, Wilson managed to get to the counseling office, where he received some first aid. Amidst the chaos, Krista Knighting emerged as an unlikely hero. She was in her classroom when she heard the shots fired, and instinctively, she ushered her students to safety and then stepped into the hallway, her heart pounding, but her mind clear. She spots the little girl holding the gun, her hands trembling. Knighting was really shocked when she discovered it was a little girl that was shooting.
I can't even imagine the thought they had when they found out that the school shooter was a 12-year-old girl. Bro, at that point, you just know America is cooked.
Expression on the teacher's face was not fear or anger, but concern. With calmness, Knighting approaches the little girl and speaks to her in a steady and reassuring voice. The girl, visibly distressed, didn't resist as Knighting gently placed her hand over the girl's and took the gun away.
Are you the shooter? And she just watched me, and I just walked up to her and I put my hand over her hand and I just slowly pulled the gun.
Niding then did something extraordinary. She hugged the girl, offering comfort in a moment of crisis. She stayed with her, talked with her, kept her calm until the police arrived. Her actions not only disarmed the shooter, but also prevented further tragedy. In the end, the 3 victims of the shooting were taken to the Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. Dr. Michael Lemon, the trauma medical director, reported that all 3 had non-life-threatening injuries. The custodian was treated and released the same day, while the 2 students were kept overnight for observation. The school was placed on lockdown, and emergency services quickly arrived. The girl was taken into custody, and the wounded were taken care of.
You know how insane it is to arrest a 12-year-old girl and put her in the back of the car like, oh, get your ass gone? This feels like news that isn't even real.
Community was left in shock, grappling with the events of that day and the heroism that had prevented a greater catastrophe.
Anyways, YouTube, let me know what you think was the craziest instance of how a school shooter got stopped. It gotta be the 12-year-old girl. Moral of the story, man, stay safe. Don't plan a school massacre, all right? Make sure you guys subscribe. Road to 700K, man. Join us on Twitch, link in the description. Waxer for life. Love y'all, and peace.